Another Brick fan here with a Harry Potter set. This is Attack on the Burrow. This is set 75980, was released in August 2020, has 1,047 pieces, 8 minifigures, and cost about $100 when it was released. This is an update of set 4840, the Burrow, which was released in 2010. I'll put a picture up here on the screen. This set is based on the Half-Blood Prince, where Bellatrix and Greyback attack the Burrow at the beginning of the book and the movie. It's nice to get 8 minifigures, and we'll take a look at all of them in detail in just a few minutes, but let's take a look at the Burrow itself. I really like the look of this Burrow. There's a lot of stuff going on, lots of stickers, and we'll take a look at a lot of those in detail as we move through the model. But if you take a look, it is actually a little bit offset. As you can see, the top half of the building here is slightly bent or sloped up there. Now, of course, in the movies it had 2 or 3 different slopes in it and definitely looked like a house that was just cobbled together. And I think they got that effect pretty well here in this model, and yet maintained the stability of the top level. It's on there pretty solid when you look at it. And now it is removable, so you can pull that apart to get a better look inside the model. So let's take a look at the first couple of floors here of the Burrow. So just to make it easier to look at, I've removed the top couple of floors here. And as you see, if we zoom in a little bit down here on the very first floor, you see a lot of those stickers I was talking about. So there's a little gate here, and there's a pig here behind the gate out in the front yard. There's stickers on the windows here, stickers on these little blocks here. So lots of detail around the front. I like the way the roof is put together with all of these slope pieces and the different colors. So there's some gray in there, red, nougat, and dark red. The windows are done in the sand blue color, several of those. And then these nougat bricks are used also to add some more texturing. And if you look, you can see kind of the offset a little bit here that makes the top slanted. Moving around to the side, you see a little action feature here, which will show in just a minute, and then the beginnings of the kitchen. So this is the sink and counter area of the kitchen. Here in the back, you can see some more detail. Now the kitchen does swing out, so you can get a better look at the kitchen. And here's their large table. So there's 6 chairs around the table. There's all kinds of stuff in here. There's waffles, coffee cups, looks like maybe a syrup bottle, and some eggs here, all done with printed tiles. There's a couple other nice stickers in here. So here's a cauldron, it looks like, that is boiling over. You see this grandfather clock here. Let's see if we can zoom in on that grandfather clock for you. You see the top here done with a sticker. Then there's the weights and movement there, pendulums in the bottom half and then in the middle. So that's a nice feature there. You see a bookshelf in here, and then there's a nice lounging chair here. Over on the other side, there's a couple of plants and some pots. Looking up on the second level, there is a bedroom here. So I believe on the second level, this here. So looking on the second level, you can see Ginny's room, and Ginny has the color scheme of the Hollyhead Harpies, a Quidditch team. And there is also a broom here above her bed. And then there is a sticker here. And Ginny also has this poster above her bed of the Weird Sisters, which I believe are the ones that sang at the Yule Ball. If you take a close look, also there is a rounded tile here with a sticker on it to represent a mirror over her little desk area. Going around to what I would say is the front of the building. Once again, there are a lot of stickers. So you see the stickers on the windows here, and then these Z patterns on either side of the door, which opens up into the house. Now there is another opening, so that just like the kitchen, the front opens up, the side opens up, and you can see inside of the burrow here. So on this floor we have a desk with a letter on it. There's a fireplace, some logs, the back of that bookshelf. Now that little gear we saw on the other side moves the fireplace, and you see it turns into that green fire, so that they did with when they added the flue powder. So it turns the fire from green, from the normal orange to a green color by turning this little crank on the side. Over in the very front here of the model, you have some candles, an orange couch here, and then there's a little table. There's a lamp there and the table with flower and a little bottle there. So lots of little details inside of it. I think they did a pretty good job in getting all these details accessible. There's actually a picture back here of a unicorn, it looks like. So that's another nice little detail. You might notice this stud on the side piece here, which goes into a headlight piece on the other side to keep that front from moving. So that is the first 2 floors of the burrow. Let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of the other half. So just for simplicity, we'll keep this detached. And you see there is kind of a sloped roof. There's a balcony out here, a small little overhang, not really a balcony, but you see there's a couple of these wood pieces here. The chimneys are up here. Here's a small window in the front. Going around to the side, you get a better look at that balcony. And then there are a couple of floors here, a couple more floors. So here is what I believe to be the Weasleys', the parents' bedroom here. There's a little basket with a cylinder in here to represent some yarn. This looks like a knitting project for Mrs. Weasley. There's a picture of the family here in the back, which you can just barely see. There's a better view of it right there above that chair that's done in sand green. There's a double bed here that is done in the blue and red. A couple of pink pillows back there. Moving up to the next floor. This, I believe, is Ron's bedroom. And he has his own Quidditch team. Here's the poster from Ron's room that is his Quidditch team. And then if you look closely on his bed in here, it's going to be difficult to see probably, but there is a sticker on his bed that says Chudley and has that same logo on it. And then finally on the top here, there's a little bit of extra space up here. So I put a couple of the 2 owls that come with this set. So here is Hedwig and then another just brown owl. So perhaps that's Errol, who is the Weasley family owl there. Let's go ahead and move on and take a look at the minifigures. The minifigures include Fenrir Greyback, Bellatrix Lestrange, Nymphadora Tonks, Arthur Weasley, Molly Weasley, Ron Weasley, Ginny Weasley, and of course Harry Potter. It's nice that we get several members of the Weasley family, seeing as this is their house. And these are all exclusive versions. We're going to start out with Ron, Ginny, and Harry. And as you can see, Ron and Ginny have the same red hair, which we would expect. Plain legs on all 3 of these figures, but pretty good torso prints. So here's Ron with a sweater and a red shirt underneath. Ginny's kind of got this sand green zip up or quarter zip top that she's wearing. And then I think I've seen Harry in this gray hoodie in different looks with a red shirt underneath. All look pretty good. Good facial expressions on them. This is the same hairpiece we've seen in a couple of other sets for Harry. Harry's got the back print for his hoodie. Ron has the sweater. Let's take a look at their alternate expressions. So there's a more concerned look for Ron. Here's Ginny, of course, with a concerned look as well. And then Harry's got more of a slight grin on his face for the alternate expression. Let's move on to our next three minifigures. Here we have Nymphadora Tonks, Arthur, and Molly Weasley. I like Tonks. She has this red shirt, obviously under a kind of a black vest, and there looks like there may be kind of a silver scarf around her neck as well. I am actually a little disappointed in the hair piece, because in the movies and certainly in the books, her hair is always a different color and it changes quite frequently. So I would have liked to have seen maybe some different colors in her hair. Would have been nice. The two Weasleys look really good. So Arthur and Molly look really good. Again, the same color hair as their children that we saw earlier. Gray slacks here with a tan colored sweater for Arthur. And then one of these robe or dress pieces for Molly in the nougat color. And then a lighter colored blouse on the top with some very colorful accents in there. So I think good printing on both of those. Nice detailing. Moving around the figures, you see that slope and the curve here of this bottom piece for minifigures. That's seen frequently in the Harry Potter minifigures. Then some little printing here on the back of Tonks. I like the printing of the continuation of that sweater. So a lot of complicated patterns in here. Definitely looks knitted, so perhaps this is something that Molly knitted for her husband. And then continuation of that same kind of patterning here on the back of Molly Weasley. Looking at the alternate expressions, you see Tonks looking a little angry to me. A little concern on Arthur's face, and then a slight smile, I think, on Molly. And then she does have some more freckles kind of come out on this expression. So let's move on to our last two minifigures, which just happen to be the villains in this particular set. So last up, we have Bellatrix Lestrange and Fenrir Greyback. Bellatrix, I think, looks good with this big, giant hair piece here. The black skirt piece down here below, or black robe piece down below. Lots of interesting printing here done in this white on the black, which looks pretty interesting. Fenrir's got kind of a tuxedo type look, or at least more of a robes here with a vest underneath, but he has a bare chest. You may recall Fenrir as a werewolf, but he's kind of embraced the fact that he's a werewolf. Unlike Professor Lupin, who is always trying to avoid changing into a werewolf. So both very black, dark figures, which I guess makes sense for Death Eaters. Moving around, very minimal printing here on Fenrir. We can take a look at the printing on the back of Bellatrix there. So there is kind of a hood here and then more of that white printing down here. The alternate expression here, she looks much more angry. And then for Fenrir, we have a grinning face here for Fenrir. Two good alternate expressions on these figures. So now that we've seen all of the minifigures that are included with this set, let's go back and I will give you my final thoughts. Overall, I really like this set. I think it turned out quite nicely. There's a lot of detail, as I tried to point out most of the details inside. Lots of little stickers with pictures and different decorations inside the house. 3 different bedrooms, which I thought was well done, cramming all those into this set. I really do like the way they offset the second half of this building on top, so it makes it look kind of not built quite right. Accurate, that fits in with the way the Burrow is depicted in the books and movie. There is this flame piece that you probably saw, but just getting a closer look at that, I like how they do this blending of the orange into the gray or the kind of trans black, if you will. Makes for a really nice effect on those big flames. As you recall from the movie, the Fenrir and Bellatrix used fire to escape when they had made that attack. Great selection of minifigures. Over 1,000 pieces at $100, so it fits into that 10 cent per piece. And then with the minifigures and all of the different features inside of the Burrow, I think this is a great value. Probably with a Harry Potter theme, I might have expected this to be more towards the $120 level. Never bothers me to pay less for Lego, so I think this is a great value and a very good set in the Harry Potter universe. Now, even though I didn't own the original version of the Burrow, I think this one is a very welcome update. I like the new colors and I like the use of the new parts and other things inside of this. So very good set and a good investment in the Harry Potter universe. Hope you enjoyed my thoughts on this Harry Potter set. I'm going to go ahead and get started on my next video. And until then, happy building. So if you made it to the end of the video, this would be a great time to subscribe and hit that like button. It really helps me out. I left a link to my Harry Potter review playlist up here on the screen.